Hi everyone, it's Tiffany Sly again, visionary sales and marketing maven and personal brand guru, coming at you with step 4 in our 5 secrets to mastering your marketing as the everyday entrepreneur. Hopefully you took away lots of tips from my previous video on how to create content easily and make it not be part of your procrastination list of things to do. So now we're going to talk about planning your marketing. So any marketing expert will tell you that you really have to have a plan, not just willy-nilly throwing things out there to your market and posting things randomly and sending out, cards randomly. You have to have a plan and you have to have a consistency about it. So it's all about consistency. So in order to do that, what I recommend doing is keeping a calendar. Hopefully you enjoyed my Marketing Badass content calendar, which will make all of your planning so much easier, I promise you. What it does is it actually plans out all of your marketing activities, not just online, but actually face-to-face or, newsletters. Anything that you do marketing-wise, you can plan it out on this calendar. And in order to be consistent, because consistency is key, really, if you're in front of people as often as you can and most consistently, they will remember you and you will build that know, like, and trust factor with your customers. So they'll be more likely to relate to you, more likely to trust you because they know you and they like you, so they'll be more likely to work with you. So in order to do that, you need to be consistent in your messaging and your marketing to them. And what I would say is you want to have a yearly plan, to be honest. So per year and per month and per week. So involved in this planning process is keeping track of all of your clients and your customers. So having a CRM program that is reliable, that you can keep notes and keep tabs on people and rank them in terms of priority, and also keep track of what marketing materials you send to them. So what I would recommend in terms of planning out your marketing, and remember, your marketing is not only print form or visual form and selling yourself, it's building your brand, and it's also face-to-face and how you come across and how you get in front of people in general to promote yourself. So what I would recommend throughout the year is scheduling quarterly touch points. Now that's really the minimum that I would do, to be honest. What you want to do is you just want to start with kind of the overall yearly plan. So if you have your client list and your pipeline, I would definitely get in contact with them and put your face in front of them quarterly at minimum. So the best way to plan your marketing is you want to have all of your marketing initiatives planned out. That includes email newsletters, perhaps once a month. That also includes online social media blasts and marketing, so that should be happening weekly. So you want to think about marketing to your clients and your potential clients as more of a yearly initiative. You want to plan it out per year, so perhaps quarterly marketing initiatives, as well as monthly, which could be more regular, more passive marketing initiatives. And then you should be having weekly plans, which would be more of the social media, the very quickly retained marketing and informational online platforms. Thinking about your yearly initiatives, you want to make sure that you connect with people on a quarterly basis at minimum. So I find that getting in front of people quarterly is really the most simple, because quarterly kind of goes along with our financial goals and our planning for the year financially, but it also goes along with our seasons. So your quarterly marketing plan would include drop-bys, maybe a mass mail out, events, maybe networking, door knocking. Those types of real personal face-to-face activities would be great to do quarterly. And you can team that with a seasonal message. It gives you an excuse to really go and talk to them about something that's centered around the season. Let's say the holidays is one example. Another example would be maybe if you're in North America, it'd be Thanksgiving or an autumn or fall message. So you can bring by something that coincides with that season and that message. And you can plan events around the seasonal message as well. Also too, when you think of consumerism, people generally do follow a purchasing pattern that goes along with the seasons. So if you're thinking cooler months of the year generally can be a little bit lesser in terms of consumer confidence. If you're thinking about when the sun comes out and it's, a spring time of year, summer, it's greener, and there's a lot more confidence in the marketplace. People are more inclined to, especially buy homes and list their homes. I find it's easier to stick to quarterly because it's frequent enough, but it's really not as often that you're going to frustrate people and find that your message just goes over deaf ears. So in terms of monthly touch points, I would recommend something written or maybe videos and newsletter form that you can do on a monthly basis. So an email newsletter, let's say a mass mail out. You can also do training and educational types of group training might be good on a monthly basis. If you're thinking of including a blog portion to your marketing plan and your marketing strategy, I would recommend a blog once a month. So there's an excuse to have one major long-form piece of content that you create on a monthly basis. And then it also gives you content for your email marketing and maybe even spilling off into doing a video about that each month. And as I mentioned in my last video, from that long-form blog, you can create smaller snippets and story bombs for your social media platforms. So then we get into the weekly scheduling and planning. And let's say social media or online advertising, those can be done on a weekly basis. Social media platforms are a great way to market to your particular customer base because you can actually target your certain demographic that you're going for in terms of your target market. So I would recommend, because social media is such an easy way to take in information, and most of us are able to be on our phones. We're going to be online. So it's a really easy and simple way to get your marketing and your message in front of people on a regular basis. Also, changing the times that you post this information will allow you to expose your content to different groups at different times. Let's say you post in the morning and then maybe you post in the evening. You stagger the information that you're putting out there so that you can expose it to the greatest number of people possible. So it's all about automating your content and your marketing that you put out there. So I mentioned this in my last video. Automating is the biggest secret to mastering your marketing and making it the most easy. And in order to automate this process, you want to plan ahead. So you have an idea of exactly when you're going to be posting a blog or when you're going to be creating a long form piece of content or a video. You have an idea of how that's going to chop up into smaller pieces and go out into a newsletter form or do videos on those pieces. And then you have an idea of which pieces are going to go on what platforms and when you're going to be posting them, so that there's a plan associated with this. So you're not just going out and doing this at the actual moment, you're planning it ahead of time. And then you know exactly when you have to create what and when it's going to be posted, and you have a plan associated. So you're organized and it's more likely to be the most consistent. So as I mentioned in my last video, it's really important to spend at least one day or one afternoon a week where you can actually sit down and create your content and plan out your marketing. So that also includes planning out, okay, what are we going to do for this next month? Oh, we have an event on this day. Let's talk about this event and create buzz around it and create some content that goes prior to the event, at the event, after the event. What are the plans? What platforms are we going to use? How are we going to schedule those things? And then you have an idea, a big picture idea of exactly what's coming and what you're going to be planning for and what you're going to be creating. So in terms of what your marketing plan will be, again, you're going to look back at your target market and look at your goals with your business and figure out where these people are actually taking in information. So if you're going to be focusing on email newsletters and maybe an online marketing strategy, then you definitely want to choose 2 or 3 platforms and do them really well. I would say 2 minimum, because I think most of us really get into business for ourselves and we feel too much pressure to be on every single platform. Like, I want to be on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat and Twitter and do all of these things all the time. That's just too much pressure on yourself. So I would recommend 2, not all of your clients are going to be on all those platforms. You have to look at the demographics and where you should be spending most of your effort and your time and what's going to give you the most results. So think about that before you decide to choose and plan out exactly what platforms you're going to use. So to talk about online marketing and planning out and scheduling your posts, you definitely want to use a scheduling platform. So one I use is Buffer. I really love Buffer because it includes LinkedIn, which doesn't always integrate with a lot of these scheduling platforms. They have quite a lot of limitations in terms of third-party scheduling. So I like Buffer because I can use it for all of my platforms. So I use Facebook, I use LinkedIn, and then Instagram. So it will do all three of those platforms for me. And I can actually go on there and plan out my content on a weekly basis and schedule them ahead of time. So I have all the content pieces from my calendar that I copy and place in, and I have all the visuals that are going to go with it, and I schedule it out in that program ahead of time. Another one that's great is Hootsuite. I know a lot of people also love Later, which is really great for those who are really Instagram heavy. And then we get into our email marketing. So having an email marketing strategy is a real strong component of any marketing strategy these days. Getting email in front of people is a really easy thing to do, and it's a great way to provide really valuable content on a regular basis in written form, and it be really professional. So I would recommend having email as part of your marketing strategy for sure, no matter what business you're in. And there are a couple programs that I've used that I find are really, really great. So I would definitely recommend looking into all the programs that you can use for email marketing and choose which one is best for you, because they're all different. Some are easier to use than others, and some are free, some are not free. So I've used MailChimp in the past, and that I find is a really simple platform to use. I know a lot of people that use it, really enjoy it, and it's free. You can actually purchase additional space. So if you have a lot of contacts, you can actually invest in a monthly subscription with them. It's really easy to use. It's easy to create the templates as well. What I use is ActiveCampaign. So ActiveCampaign is something I just switched over to recently. I find it really just as easy as MailChimp, but it's more comprehensive. So you can actually create sales funnels within the program, and they actually are more likely to receive the email rather than it go into their junk folder. One thing about ActiveCampaign is that you do have to purchase over a certain number of contacts. So it is good for those who have a really healthy database. And you're more likely that your emails are going to get into their inbox rather than their junk folder. And I actually don't mind paying for that because that's much more value. If you're going to be doing video, I truly don't believe that you have to spend money on video editing software. Some people do, and if that's you, that's great. I have it and I really don't use it. This is actually done on Photo Booth. So I have an iMac, I have all Apple products, and it's super simple, super easy. It's high resolution, it's HD, and then what I do is I import it into iMovie, which is again a free application on my Apple products, and I do all my editing within that. So it's really easy to use and it's free. So in order to make this planning process super easy, again, I mentioned, please download my Marketing Badass Content Calendar, because I promise you, with all of your marketing initiatives, this will be the best way to put everything into that document and have everything planned out for the month, the year, and all of your content in one place. It will make your life so much easier. So I'm going to include, again, just in case you missed it last time, a link down below so you can download the content calendar, and please let me know what you think about it. So I hope that was really helpful for everyone in terms of planning out your marketing initiatives. Now that you have such an understanding of what your business stands for, your visual branding, you're all set and are creating content regularly, now you can plan it out and automate it so that it's super easy for you, and make sure you have a plan and a big picture idea of what content you're going to be putting out and when. So if you have any questions, obviously always let me know, and please visit my website tiffanysly.com for any further information about my packages and how I can help you master your marketing. And next up, we're going to be talking about step number 5, which is finally engagement and relationships. That is really the follow-up to all of this marketing. it's not just what marketing you put out there. You have to actually engage with people, and I'm going to give you some of my tips on how to do that and how to best create that long-standing relationship and consistency that we all want for that sustainable business that we strive for. So have a great day. We'll see you soon.